An antique store took my phone. A year or so ago, I visited an antique store in my neighborhood that I frequented relatively often. I use the word antique loosely as this particular store was ran by a family that owned the building they were in and had a habit of purchasing people's estates sight unseen, so you can imagine how packed this place is. This store is near impossible to navigate as they have piles and piles of disorganized merchandise that is similarly set up to the antique shop episode of Nathan For You. This store was also known to service a large portion of my city's local theaters for things like costumes and props. I can't stress enough that this place was filled to the brim with product that had been sitting for well over 20 years. I am with my husband looking through a bin of old maps on one side of their basement. I do a quick look around the general area I am standing near, as this basement has incredibly low ceilings that my husband is too tall to maneuver comfortably, and a maze of shelves of miscellaneous metalware, accented by a back wall lined with Easter bunny costumes that were truly terrifying to me, ultimately discouraging me from looking any further into this basement. We leave the basement and I'm looking around at random things on the upper level, and I go to pull my phone out to take a picture of something, but my phone isn't in my pocket. I begin to retrace my steps as I realize this is probably the worst place to lose my phone. I return to the basement with the creepy costumes and retrace my steps there. The area I was in was maybe 20 square feet, but this basement expands throughout what is essentially a quarter of a city block under this building. I ask my husband to call me, but my phone is on vibrate and whatever little sound is being silenced by the insane amount of costumes and fabric down here. I expand my search in the basement with my husband continuing to call me, stepping over old milk jugs, rotary telephones, think of any obsolete technology. It was in this basement and I was stepping over it. I eventually find my phone sitting on a high shelf towards the back of the room, an area I hadn't initially visited and was difficult to get to on a shelf, where the items on top weren't exactly visible to me. I don't know how it got there, but it certainly wasn't myself or my husband that put it there, as we were together the entire time. I left with the willies and haven't been back since.